All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is heating up on Twitter, man. It is heating up. Dricus and Chimaev go at it. Further building up to this pay-per-view coming up in August, and I am so excited. So, Chimaev posts a picture of Dricus with him and his coaches, and he ats him, and then he puts 5 donut emojis with a laughing face. And I'm thinking, because that's the thing, it's a cryptic tweet, so they're up for interpretation. So I'm thinking at first, okay, maybe he's just making a little joke about like posting a little desserts and saying that, oh, they're soft or something like that. But then I'm thinking from a more sinister angle because I'm like, okay, maybe there's more to this. And you look at the theme of Chimaev's recent insults towards Dricus and how he interacts with his coaches, and you look at the shape of those donuts because, you know, he could have posted anything. Maybe he's referencing where the sun don't shine. But, you know, if you catch my drift. But, yeah, like I said, it's up for interpretation. But, you know, that's what I'm thinking. And considering Dricus' response, it's probably he assumed the latter. He said, oh, shit, we'll get you, but there's no inbred emoji. Fuck! Those are fighting words, man. It is, that's the thing. Dricus doesn't pull any punches, and he's not afraid to get serious and personal with his opponents on the build-up. Because if you look at Dricus' recent, like, trash talk, and that's the thing. Here's a hot take. People say, oh, McGregor's, like, amazing in his prime, and he was. You talk about Ilya and his trash talk as well. It's really good. But I would say, pound for pound right now, you look at what Dricus' trash talk does to his opponents mentally before the fight. Strickland, the first one. Obviously, the second one, they were more respectful. But the first one, he brought up his dad, and he got, like, Strickland, like, yelling at him, and like, he was, like, going at it. And he's not afraid to go low, right? And then you get Adesanya, and he made him cry, man. Like, Dricus doesn't come to play around. And that's the thing. If Dricus and Chimaev, if there's a little prop bet or something for when they have the press conference and there's an option whether Chimaev attacks him, bet that. Bet that, because Dricus, I guarantee you he's going to get, like, political or something, because hopefully they do a pre-fight press conference, like, months beforehand, because if you've seen in the past, what they do is, like, they'll take, like, 3 main events from the upcoming pay-per-views and do, like, a little mini press conference just to build them all up, you know what I mean? But now that Ilya Topuria and Makshev's not fighting, I feel like all the other ones, like Poirier, because Merab and O'Malley are coming up soon. If you do, like, Poirier and Holloway, no build-up, it's going to be boring and respectful. You get Oliveira and Topuria, no build-up. Oliveira, he's great, but he's just too respectful, and his answers are kind of, like, boring, if I'm being honest. Great guy, though, but whatever. And then, Chimaev and Dricus. I feel like they're going to steal the show. You could do them alone, and not only that, if we can't do the live event, like, of the press conference, get them on a Zoom call. And, like, I swear, do not do Brett Okamoto on there, because he's just going to be so fucking boring. So, Chimaev, how's your training camp? Oh, Dricus, what's your favorite color? Like, bruh, fuck that. We need someone with a lot of, like, we need someone with a lot of charisma and, like, someone who will prod at them and get, like, comedy gold out of this. Because I swear, it's going to get so heated where Chimaev's going to be like, I fucking hate you, brother, and fucking smash his screen or something. Like, that's the thing. We need that for, like, these super fights, super build-ups. It's going to be hilarious. And like I said, Dricus is not afraid to go personal, and I guarantee you we're going to hear something like this. If you remember from his Strickland press conference, his evil laugh. And, like, if Chimaev sees him laughing like that, he's going to go fucking ballistic. And this pay-per-view, I honestly don't even care what's on the prelims anymore. Like, this main event is going to carry it, like, farther than any of the other ones coming up. Don't get me wrong, the other pay-per-views are really good, but this one's going to take the cake for me, honestly. And, moving on. So, I was looking through Twitter, and I was seeing that, like, there's a few rumored fights going around, and that's the thing, where there's smoke, there's fire, and obviously this isn't legit or coming from, like, the UFC themselves, so it's all speculation. But they're saying, because if you look at this schedule, so 319 is, let's see here, 319 is Chimaev and Dricus, and that's in August. September, they're doing a Mexican card, and that's going to be 320. And that's the thing. Obviously, being in Mexico, they're going to want someone of either Mexican descent or either born in Mexico, someone Mexican enough to draw in the local crowd. And that's the thing. If you look at the rankings and everything, the streets are saying that they're trying to do Volk versus Yair 2. And hearing that, I'm like, I don't think there's a lot of appetite for that one, because if you look at how the first fight went, it was kind of one-sided. And not only that, you look at Yair's last performances. So after he got beat by Volk, he lost to Ortega, and then he beat Patricio Pitbull. And Patricio Pitbull, I don't care how good he was in the other promotions, he's unranked, he's 38, and it's his first time in the UFC. I don't think being 1-2 in your last 3, and the only win being some, unranked guy from another organization, I don't think that's enough to warrant a title shot. But he was saying during that build-up, if you remember, he's like, oh yeah, the UFC says if I beat him, I'm guaranteed a title shot next, blah, blah, blah. And the UFC does things like that, but that's the thing. They promise a lot to a lot of people, but sometimes their promises contradict each other. So I guess we'll wait and see. But like I said, I don't think there's a lot of interest in that rematch. And not only that, I say that, but then the UFC will go book O'Malley and Merab too. You know what I mean? So the UFC these days tends to not really care about what the fans think or want. So yeah, I wouldn't be totally surprised if that happens, because Volk, like you said, he does want to stay active. But I was seeing on Twitter that I think there's just some AI poster they did where it's Makhachev, Jack Del Maddalena, Volkanovski, Movsar Evloev. That would be an insane pay-per-view. Bring that to Australia, because if you think about it, Volk obviously fought Makhachev. And JDM said in the build-up, he's like, oh, I'm going to get back for Volk, and I'm going to knock him out. And that's the thing, too. You can do a Russia versus Australia, so you get like a good theme card. I feel like, especially since Volk said, like, he already beat Yair. He's nice to Yair. He's like, oh, I don't want to turn him down if he wants another one. If he wants another crack at it, But that's the thing. If you look at what this does for Volk, if Volk beats Yair again, it's like, okay, like, you already beat him. Great, now what? But if he beats Movsar, I feel like that win would go a lot longer and be worth a lot more in the future. Because I feel like Movsar, he's younger. He has a lot more like future in the sport. I believe he will be a champion at one point. If not right there as a number one contender. And it'll, especially since Volk doesn't have a lot left in the sport, so I feel like he shouldn't waste his time with like a repeat of something he already dominated. It just doesn't really make any sense to me. But I don't know. It is what it is. I don't think the UFC is in too high on Movsar right now, just because of the lack of the finishes. So I don't know. I feel like Movsar should get the next title shot, because you want fresh matchups, but at the same time, it is what it is. I guess the UFC owes a big card to Mexico, and obviously if they're going to put anyone there, it's going to be Yair. So yeah, because I think Yair, I don't think they have any Mexican champions right now. Because Moreno lost, and then Alexa Grasso lost. So yeah, I guess you could do Yair, but I don't know. It is what it is. And yeah, moving on. I've seen another rumor that apparently they're considering doing, Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez. And that would be a really nice fight as well. And they're saying that might be on UFC 318, because if you look at UFC 318 right now, Holloway versus Poirier 3. Like I said, they're not going to have a big build-up. It's going to be all respectful and boring. Great fight, but, it is what it is. You look at underneath Holloway versus Poirier, you got Vettori versus Brennan Allen. That's like Fight Night Apex kind of thing. Neil Magny versus Gunnar Nelson, Fight Night Apex. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Adam Fogut versus Islam Dulatov. I don't even think these guys are ranked. So, like, to put that on a pay-per-view, like, come on, man. I think this card definitely could use a Gene Silva matchup because Gene Silva brings so much to the table. I think he's a rising star. I think they need to promote the hell out of him because he's got a very bright future. Not only that, I think the UFC loves him as well because Gene Silva is ranked 11 and Diego Lopez, he's ranked number 2, but he's behind Holloway, which isn't in featherweight anymore, and then Topuria is number 3, which isn't in featherweight anymore. So if you go by those rankings, Diego Lopez is number 1, Movsar is number 2, and that's the thing. I don't think they want to risk Gene Silva versus Movsar because, like, they may do it because I don't think they like Movsar, so Gene Silva definitely could beat him, but I feel like they're going to want to put him against a striker like Diego Lopez because not only that, his history with Volk. If Gene Silva knocks out or subs Diego easily, there's his case for the title shot next. And not only that, another person Volk hasn't fought, so it'll do a lot for his legacy. So it's like a win-win. And then not only that, Gene Silva, I was saying in my earlier videos, if Gene Silva knocks out Volk, of course he's going to call out Topuria and be like, hey, where'd you go? You know what I mean? Like, come back and fight me. Like, you know, I would knock you out type of thing. And that's the thing. I really think Gene Silva, depending on how good he looks in the top 5, I think he has his case to call out Topuria because that would be a super fight. That would be an amazing build-up. Both huge personalities, both huge knockout power, huge finishing rates. Like, come on. Sign me up, man. Take my money. So, yeah, no. Huge future for Gene Silva. That's the thing. I hope they do the top 5 for him. And obviously, if Yair's getting the title shot, then they can't do that. They could do Arnold Allen as well, but I feel like if you want the most juice for your squeeze, I think, yeah, you do Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez. That makes sense. Maybe not for Diego, because Diego would be like, holy fuck, why am I fighting down to number 11? I just fought for the title. But it is what it is. The UFC is a sport at the end of the day, and Diego had his shot. He fumbled the bag, so yeah, he's got to fight down. Maybe not number 11 down, but that's the thing. The UFC does strange things these days. But yeah, hopefully Gene Silva gets that fight because that would be an amazing fight. That would add so many pay-per-views to the 318 card because, yeah, it needs it. It needs the help it can get. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of these rumors. And, yeah, like and subscribe and see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.